You didn't have say. A patch of some motim me voice motini last
Mpatwane.
okay, ma Cynthia me dance pa. You didn't have say any days so there be share mu ewo in the stream of time Bible prophecy series. Na sene debia da ye kanono. A Bible nkuto ni gina so sola scriptura. Solus Christus, Christ alone, and yet about to me be and not say any other power be Christ alone. Sola fide, a faith alone, a Gideon kuto in a benya dankwa. Sola gratia, dankwa no, a admache de or the chequa, grace alone. And ye be to the glory of God alone, and yet any human being, any traditions be there. Ye better ye, yen and unseen and no more yeno, and in a was saying so yes, sir. So long as the scriptures in the cassa say no, and nuna ye jinaso, de cassa. Na ye botaye, and I say Psalm 119 verse 11 ye inspiration for this Bible study. Say, what the Nyakopa sem esie wakuma mu a ebo ho ban free bone and intina ye ba line so every Sunday, every Thursday, and in between so no ye war lessons a ye no Friday, ye war mpaya ye bono no ni nyina na eboa he ema ebo ye ho ban free bone ho. Thy word have I hid in mine heart. Me the wasem esie makuma mu na maanye bone ntia. Ye de Yakopon asem esie yakoma mu ebo ye ho ban free bone ho. Bible no kire kwan a ono akasa o se ye fensua no. O se precept must be on precept, precept on precept, line on line, line on line. Here a little and there a little. Isaiah 28 verse 10. Inti se read the Bible no say phrase bi enti ase ana bibi kasa bi wo ho enti ase a na ya search the rest of the book no bon say ba ko hu the same exact phrase in another place bi a eno no inchi mu wo ho until you let the Bible interpret itself, because if you jama ye nipa na obi aba interpreting the way I don't know what you say, and it may not all tally. And you drew Daniel chapter 11, so a lesson number 18 in the stream of time Bible prophecy series. Now last week in the year ball Daniel chapter 1 to 10 tougher within your time space no intinene year twaso na senia eya be tie can say nyankopon wo he is a master teacher, he is the greatest teacher. Na ohwe nkomhye mu a or method bia ase uyusu ese o repeat asem na waka ndada no na wo de bia ka ho o repeat no de bia ka ho na yentin foforo no bo say the first time I hear it no or ka asem na nkomhye na ubeka say enye too detailed. Nti I say synopsis bisan or mass synopsis no echi no na fe de o the detail kakra account ote no ase a no ekonenima no asa more details until he repeats and expands. And yehun wo Daniel chapter 2 ho no Nebuchadnezzar huni no the same thing no na or be repeat expanded with Daniel chapter 7 in a twaso 8 in the core 9 to see no you drew 11 so and but my mini can say Daniel chapter 11 no a year so much details or he's repeating and he's expanding, but he's giving us so much expansion and so much details. Now the book of Daniel chapter 11 no a man say Yankopon na yesu no ampa. He's a detailed oriented God. And you can say your very hairs no, they are numbered. na metaka say em say Nyankopon social security numbers or the am a twin agree so because I'm sure so be a do only different. Also wo hair no kra no one number no. Was it not a single sparrow falls? A sparrow making has be a bronoma and answer no ma cry and tinshi a bra a journey in him. He is very detailed. Now, dear Bakus, a member who dreamy Daniel chapter 11 and say details and I hope on the no about events that ever happen. Yes, he's giving us the details in hundreds of years and some events never happen. And you know, read Daniel chapter 11 now, sanity. Now, say details into an addition, no. A bit more like historical account because me in Daniel chapter 11 most of a account a idea happened that okay and abem and abem exactly as Senusi kind with the details are or the kind. Now the other thing is say maybe one second maybe because yeah, the other thing is say Daniel chapter 11 no the all kasa no in the book of Daniel chapter 11 no obofo Gabriel nyame asoma no amana aba Daniel nchen kasa and he speaks through chapter 11 na chapter 12 it is say and so na ye share so sa na so Daniel chapter 2 Daniel chapter 7, Daniel chapter 8, Nyankopon, or my prophecies, say, never be happen, Yamema, and I say, a bit of happen was I see so towards the end of the world, the world history, or Bonnie Natofa, but Daniel chapter 2, 7 and 8, or the symbols, and a day a church, Nema, into the Daniel chapter 2 or the Uhoni. Ni tea gold, ni high silver, high say. Oko Daniel chapter 7 or say a pen say a more jata water by minua or so region and I so to say nipa kasa say nipa and also nya nipa koma. Nature or say a bear or we can say what togusu one side yes stronger, essence the other okuta 3 ribs a shiny simu. Na until the a more aye. Now quote chapter 8 I feel now what describe say a ujain bema be a wabe be nu abako was saying baako into Daniel chapter 2 7 and 8 or the symbols in a editre nema but over Daniel chapter 11 no a intremu in obofo Gabriel nyame asoma ne se ombekire Daniel ase no use symbols or any manner or canon mostly in plain language. Now, after the uncertain reading, or say also I know canon is above for Gabriel and Daniel. Also I in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. And now I will show thee the truth. After dear Daniel, make cheshru mua Martin Ukraine say. After that, Chemunen as behold, she there shall stand up 3 kings in Persia. I mean, in taking a view because me want me to word be very critical. Also, behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th shall be far richer than they all. And by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia. Greece, and I can't say Greece, a modern Greece, obviously, not the same as ancient Greece, On Anna Ebu American addition is an Ebu use Greece, but the correct word and a name should actually be Grecia. It also he shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia. Again, for Gabriel, I said, there shall stand up yet. Stand up, no. It means say to reign. So umbebu, like govern. They shall stand up yet three. They shall come up again 3 kings umbebu rule. Now that 3 kings no. I will say they shall yet stand up no. They will stand up to reign in Persia. Taman obofo Gabriel fencing no say in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood up to confirm and to strengthen him. Now that 3 kings no say hence 3 kings shall yet stand up means 3 kings shall yet reign in Persia. Now after Darius we Darius the Mede say the first man kind of saying Darius the Mede winning the first Medo-Persia or he no deal on the time no mutu Nebuchadnezzar egui ahini neguye. Daniel can verse 1 say San Darius time no me Gabriel nyame asoma me say me strengthen Darius or hini Darius, but by the time ana o cheshiri mu na on hini no rule Persia at that very time na Cyrus. Until so say they shall stand up yet until after Cyrus they shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th shall be far richer than they all. Enya ahin form betna Persia and so nyina no or come once, but or can some cardinal ahimfua ombeba after Cyrus, immediately after Cyrus, and on wasem and all can. Now ahimfo no na immediate successors to Cyrus and omne why. The first one near fen Cambyses, intina missy na dia and be history kakra and ye recounting her. Maybe say meet me a penny we okay to my pen and that. Okay. Yeah, intina no I history in an idea no a be well a be involved in addition. Yet me chapter 11 because it is so detailed. Until after Cyrus or Hinia or by any Cambyses, not or a Cyrus, but he was the son of Cyrus. After Cambyses, or he be by or no an imposter. Your friend Smerdis. And that Smerdis is soon a free soon no. Or he be by or no soon Darius his task piece. It is our 3 kings now I can say yet after Cyrus 3 kings in Persia no. It is so detailed. Cambyses, Smerdis, and Darius his tapis. And now Obofo Gabriel as I can say the 4th shall be far richer than they all. When we are in a historical account, to be because a home fast one is saying, a home fast one is saying, who say the God we are worshiping, he is not an aloof God. On yas or bossas and when yas as say, and the entrance baby non contrary baby no. He's actively involved in it and he knows the future, what is going to happen. And everything no has to go according to his will in terms of or non prophecy what can say the baby no ebeba no usia history na it assures you say nyame no God is in control it is memo hunsa and intino hu hia say ene adesua no yesua and the second thing is say ehun hia say yesua because nyakopon no obo soro ni asase ni fi say o menka say ofi say onim say ehun hia enu nti na oma abofo Gabriel ebeka edema yen nchirima no saa ne ma wenim na yen nchirima no nti na oma Daniel etre enti no o say ahemfo miensa no and the three kings in Persia, and yet after Cyrus. No, see the fourth no shall be far richer than they all. The fourth king shall be far richer than they all. Fourth king, not in wine. The fourth king from Cyrus, Nathan Xerxes, Xerxes, Xerxes. No, ye more famous for his riches than say Odini Ami Enimamuma Kudinkunim. He was very rich. Nasa Xerxes no. Ode baby menka and to us the fourth shall be far richer than they, and by his strength through his riches he shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia. Through his riches na Xerxes no wosika. So time na Grecia and the lesson that the Greek no almost started eba masori overthrow kingdoms. Intino na a threat to Persia and Middle Persia hini no. Eti the Xerxes here and say Odinisika bebre no edi training soldiers. And at that time it was the largest army ever assembled. History historians and I say yenia obi osua history pa ewo Ghana kakra no yet you be an even Herodotus, and you can say the almost the father of history. Herodotus, he lived around that time. So at time I hear can say he was alive at that time, and he documented the events that was going on at that time. Or say Xerxes organized the largest army ever assembled, an army of 5,283,220 soldiers. Or my exact number of soldiers Persia hene and Middle Persia hene Xerxes organized na enye no nko a osadi ni sika no bi enliste Carthaginians. So me can history correctly, I'm Carthaginians no more say Tunisia area more. I stand to be corrected. But sana like vaguely in my mind and me can Carthaginians. Or kofa Carthaginians, or this can be kofa Carthaginians soldiers 300,000 and a beka or no 5.2 million soldiers in all, and they were about 5.5 million soldiers in organizing almost say only Greek for Ekokon. And na but same way before say or no Xerxes in base idea we hundreds of years before me the main cancer what kind a long time before say Sandy way is going to happen, because that time Xerxes said yes na done we go da and you know say by his strength through his riches he shall stir up or against the realm of Grecia. Now verse 3 and to say, and a mighty king shall stand up. A mighty king shall stand up. Dear Comshe way in a canon, the Yame Edika a fence a understand Chichimu a bay, no. A yan Comsha Yame Edika a canon dada, and not all repeating or expanding. It was at one cup Babylon as because at this time na Babylon he need na omun komshe na bem de adama ya to mo hini egu enti no nchechemu no we no chapter 11 started with Persia satam na no di wiase so ena oka the next kingdom ba ye nyina no from addition yesu an pen before this prophecy series ye kran ye nim say Middle Persia, and even from history Middle Persia he it was replaced or defeated by the Grecians, and it's a Greek for defeat Middle Persia until after Middle Persia Greece now a bit take over. It is verse 3 no say, and the mighty king shall stand up that shall rule with great dominion and do according to his way. The opebia no ye. No challenger. This king no a mighty ubian to me in an enemy. verse 4 no, or say, and when he shall stand up. Yeah, can't say stand up, no, it means a reign. In other words, no, what I can say, and when he shall reign, no, that is so his kingdom shall be broken. This is an exact expansion on a symbolic visions, a war, especially Daniel chapter 8, or can say, upon Chibema be okuta beben baako. And Daniel chapter 8 will say, when he was strong, he shall be broken. The same thing I know, or say repeating here. God is the master or the greatest teacher. He repeats and expands. And when he shall stand up, when he shall start reigning power over the world empire, his kingdom shall be broken. Because he in the true Alexander the Great, very young man in his 30s, were defeating Persians, were taking over the world empire. Until no time ojina na nice in Komechi. Time ojina na nice and he was broken. And I said the dominion it came to an end. Now, until a mighty king shall stand up, Alexander the Great. And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken and shall be divided toward the four winds of the heaven. Alexander the Great, okonom ensa from the Herculean cup, onum two. Ansan sorry enyan and nine subium, or yare pound a great fever, one recover bium, and chibia in a few days no wuye and a decaya campaign. In a prior study say the kingdom of Grecia was divided into four by his leading generals. Yebo generals nidi Cassander, Lysimachus, Seleucus, and Ptolemy. Nyamin diebeba in the future. Before Alexander the Great ran over yebe won on no crown. Now what can among come say we in a in the emphasis will be a student of Bible, Nanyam concluding a trainer, and Kobe based on Daniel chapter 11, Kobe would never happy in before Alexander the Great ran a Yebewuno. Nanyamia, yes, no, he's so powerful, a bro, Adjune, any so. Now, dear Buno Kai, or say the kingdom shall be broken and divided toward the four winds of heaven. Or cast the four winds of heaven, it is as a compass. You have north, you have south, you have east, you have west. It is a pepe and a not fencing or tree. Say the kingdom it will be divided into four parts according to fencing the because a compass. Now cast a compass and in a frame of reference in here na ujina no akasa high north, high south, Daniel Comshem na the frame of reference was Judea, Jerusalem. Until say who the northern part of Jerusalem, no can say we were north. Or a fancy southern part of can say south. It is a tier. And it was and not to his posterity. His kingdom shall be broken up. A bit Papa Sank a Nahini a Mupapa Nema in a better key over. But Nakupon I can't before say while Alexander say Nahini when he shall stand up, time over that he say first say old rulupan no. We are seeing a version and an answer of rulupan. No, his kingdom shall be broken. Be divided into four winds of heaven. And no, who read in chapter 8, you get that message. But expansion there will hand say, and not to his posterity. Into what the account. Oh, he repeats and he expands. He repeats and he adds more information. And not to his posterity. Just say, Sir, four kingdoms, and yet Alexander the Great in the Berulu, nor according to his dominion which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be plucked up, even for others beside those. The kingdom, you bet 2 years. and I say Alexander the Great na he name you bet once you say and any ma in a besi na name. And that's exactly what happened after Alexander the Great's death. On one munosa, and I said no, a young man in his early 30s. Owuye no. The kingdom no, the generals, the four leading generals no, a divided kingdom no. Na Alexander the Great, na se, omu wipe a no marketing it. They were all wiped out, exactly according to Namia Otesuro unim dache, unime wiene a free infitiasie, undebeba nina. Na yet was no. Daniel chapter 5. And then no, me try the time so. Me and share be a bedroom because we in a historical account, na so detailed. But I will say you read near TRCS so. Daniel chapter 11 verse 5 no so. Or say, and the king of the south, Alexander the Great na hini Nyachichem into 4 parts. Ebia could di south, ebia could di north, ebia could di east, ebia could di west. And Oka say, and the king of the south shall be strong. When in the old dream, the miana media shemu for in a way no miankasa no clarity into a media shemu. But there can say the king of the south shall be strong, and one of his princes, and he shall be strong above him, and have dominion. His dominion shall be a great dominion. Alexander the Great, the kingdom the empire was divided into 4. But I can't say for first north south according to the compass now. The reference point now you just say higher north, higher south Judea, and I say Jerusalem. It is a assassin word Jerusalem, the northern far north and only the northern division. I want the south and Tisana Now the divisions of Alexander's kingdom with respect to Palestine were situated as follows. The general Sabum di Cassandra, General Cassandra, only for Greece, any inquire being Greece and adjacent countries being Greece. No. Greece no. With reference to Judea no. Na a war west. It's a General Cassandra no fire. General Lysimachus no fire. Thrace no. And Quebec say a Turkey and the second coming from such a genome a Turkey. That area no even Thrace. Now include Asia Minor and Krubis have been and the countries lying on the Hellespont and the Bosphorus. Bosphorus no crown a back same way as a Serbia and those countries have been that area no. And or a vessel Lysimachus no. General Lysimachus FI. Now yeah, in those countries, no, north of Palestine and that's Judea, no, the northern. Into west, was a General Cassandra. North, General Lysimachus, and a General Nathan Seleucus, or no fan Syria, ne Babylon, no east of Palestine, as a Judea, no east. And a general friend Ptolemy, Ptolemy, on Dina Maspelin or High Green, or no, far the southern portion. The entire cancer idea will very important too, and then a Buama prophecies Nasi because you really can over the king of the south, the king of the north. One here, why is so confused? What is he talking about? What is it? The angel Gabriel talking about here? Why need the king of the south? Why need the king of the north? And internet century movie, Mede manwa a high. Na ye koswa na at least ye some clarity. Na sa generals, sa 4 generals, and yes, so omchiche no. They were they lived amongst themselves in peace peacefully. Once a to me wo no. Ye be obi ape wo onya to me no say even more to me until they kept fighting amongst themselves. Now there were several wars and revolutions a course so amongst our 4 divisions no. No a geographical boundaries no na change so we defeat we no befa we asase aka na de ho saa ntine a course so saa ma fa die fence the divisions no the major divisions be two south and north. It mean really say whatever power at any time should occupy the territory which at first constituted the kingdom of the north, that power, so long as it occupied that territory, will be the king of the north. Who read commission now, Daniel chapter 11 now, king of the north no, and yet a specific person be inquire because the history no a cost 1899. It you do another person be wabe defeat original king of the north no na ono na be the king of the north no sana prophecy ni be kan fa no so ono the king of the north no. I think say as we go on no hopefully no say obi antiasia the obenya a bit more clarity but sana etie na Cassandra General Cassandra no was very soon conquered by Lysimachus, and his kingdom, Greece and Macedonia, were annexed to Thrace. Send a mechanon 4 generals from Bokum. Into Anchekra Cassandra was defeated by Lysimachus. And Lysimachus by Cassandra territory in Becca on Onidion. And Lysimachus was in turn conquered by Seleucus in Macedon, and Thrace annexed to Syria. Until there was some consolidation amongst the 4 initial divisions of the Grecian Empire. Into the verse 5 was it the king of the south based on a consolidation, the king of the south Ebeye Ptolemy or govern Egypt. The king of the south, Egypt, shall be strong. Shall be strong. And one of his princes, shall be strong. Now Ptolemy of Cyprus, Phoenicia, of Nkrobebre, Egbekan, Egypt. Until the kingdom became very strong. But one of Alexander's princes, into really I was saying, one of his princes near Alexander and the 4 divisions, one of them, and he shall be strong above him. One of them shall be stronger than Ptolemy and have dominion. His dominion shall be a great dominion. And you say, but another of Alexander's princes is introduced in the expression one of his princes. And or say sir that one of his princes, it refers to Seleucus, who has already settled, having annexed Macedon and Thrace to Syria, thus became possessor of 3 parts out of the 4 of Alexander's dominion, and established a more powerful kingdom than that of Egypt. Seleucus eventually conquer the other 3 into the king of the north. Now you can't say Seleucus sometimes it's interchangeable because title of the man or him and even Antiochus or until the blue one better say make Antiochus a woman, but the same thing. Seleucus no original territory near a Syrian would take more territory. 3 other I can't say cardinal territories would take you into one even stronger. Now say there were frequent wars between the kings of Egypt and Syria. It is here originally 4 abe consolidate Seleucus afa dodo na wabe powerful Ptolemy enso so afa Egypt any nkura bi e ben Egypt one so abe powerful, but Seleucus more powerful. King of the north is more powerful than the king of the south. Sanitary. Now details be wo hanuma. Just say me suan na ma me hu dream about Nyakopon the foreknowledge and how detailed. One have I say he has a foreknowledge. I say a blush be but pay attention to detail. But specific details be or the na my say why be worry we if I say omo worry and to go basis in temu na or the ma or say and in the end of years they shall join themselves together for the king's daughter. The all can say, and in the end of this, they shall join themselves together. Omakokwa, a king of the south, Ptolemy, Egypt, king of the north, Syria, Seleucus. Omo title on the man was Antiochus. And now Omakusa say, okay, yam for peace. And Tinasadia and ye, Titirona deba come the F4G peace and say. O baako de ne ba ebema baako aware na ekriti umfi se aware ebemu dia na the bond aba yentemu but in come shede na e can be fa ho or say they shall join themselves together for the king's daughter of the south Ptolemy ne baba shall come to the king of the north Syria, the king of Syria, and I said Seleucus Antiochus to make an agreement. Okay, young worry. But they shall not retain the power of the arm, neither shall he, the king of the north, Antiochus, stand, nor his arm, but she, the event saying, Ptolemy Baba shall be given up, and they that brought her, and he that begat her, your wound, no papa. Ptolemy that began her, and he that strengthened her in these times. So much details, and it's just one verse, and it captures so much history. Now, history in the happening in the they say the Madani a historian, but they're very interesting. Also, there were frequent wars between the kings of Egypt and Syria. You can't Egypt, king of the south, you can't Syria. King of the north. They at length agreed to make peace upon condition that Antiochus, who is the king of the north, Syria, now at that time, no more than any Theos, the title Antiochus, Antiochus Theos should put away his former wife, Laodice, where a history. Details history in the conference Nyakopo no nim de na ebeba history obi interested that be obetimi ehume yebema na exact sources obehu ebebia sa historical information free nti na obi na bon ni sremo etretre sane man answer keka sane nti Antiochus obey fencing omu come to an agreement say Antiochus say king of the north, Jai, we Laodice. And then ni two sons, no, and now Kolami, a memamilu. Never worry, me king of the south, Egypt, me baba, nan me baba, and if any barrenness. So that time, Egypt, nani dindi Ptolemy. Philadelphus. Until no more person make peace. Until wo king of the north me baba be ma worry. But me person me ban ba 2 worry so. Until we re na say woni ne kunkon na say woni na ma worry so as mo worry woni na wo mienu no jano. Because me person me baba ba 2 worry so. Me baba ne fe ne barrenness. Na worry barrenness no nko a. No, ono be yo oyere. And he told me Philadelphus, king of the king of the south or the nebaba ma Antiochus, king of the north ena oware Now comes and say, but she shall not retain the power of the arm. She shall not she no can answer a barrenness. Egypt Ptolemy Philadelphus ne baba no say shall not retain the power of the arm. That is her interest and power with Antiochus. Because obey na yere dia who influence over him, but say we influence on retaining a fencing for a long time. And so it proved for some time shortly after. In a fit of love, Antiochus brought back his former wife. You know, Jaina no. Eko ware Berenice, Ptolemy, a baba no. Afe die, ni fence or sacrifice na yere ne back, na yere Laudis, and in a mienu her children. You know, don't better him fee. Na prophecies nso can say, neither shall he no can no mention hand or say neither shall he stand nor his arm. Neither shall he no Antiochus asem no oka, the king of the north no stand nor his arm. Oba ko fa old wife aba, but Onina, unse I can say to stand up means to reign. Omu ahini no, nor his arm, but she shall be given up, and they that brought her, and he that begat her, and he that strengthened her in these times. One have because it's very confusing. But history bears say out says sa the Nyamenam obofo Gabriel council sa pepe ne bae. Say Antiochus esa first kofa na yere da Laudis bae. Na Laudis bae no. Na dwen or the bae and say revenge. Or the revenge mind the bae. So obe revenge enumguasia ni krundi egu no. Na Berenice abeji na wadriye ni nyina obe revenge. Inti no commission na eka so neither shall he Antiochus stand nor his arm or seat. Laudis no the jana is sacrifice being restored to favor and power feared. Osro said one hwe na Antiochus was actually in mind no was have jami biom as a gumani man say asaka Berenice. Inti no say bibia no no bit man stop no this also making sure so be kum ni kunu Antiochus no cran not ni real name ni yeah, but the title here Antiochus intino o plot so be kum ni kunu Antiochus no ma ni kunu sengu ni ma sisa biom da intino no o make sure o fa kwan bi so a poison ni kunu shortly after was about back or poison ni kunu or hene no king of the north no ekum no na okum no nsusu no o make sure so be wipe ma on Berenice awu ni nyina no bekum omo e na Berenice na nsusu no o nso beku no into ploto ye o wipe Berenice ene fence ma on Antiochus wo no kum Antiochus na mo ena afei die ono no ode ne ba panyin ebesi kunya no so na ne ba panyin sa Syria no unse original general ne fen Seleucus nti omo ahe kunya no title no dodo na ne Antiochus but the woman na obi ohene bi aba no de apeki Seleucus no onya last name atwa so nti no Laudis Obani ejai na yesakofa ne baye a yeses mekuno mekun de obeje ma obese ma wari obeje mekunu no ene ne ma no ososidi ye oyesade ye nyina no ode ne ba pe ma panyi a yefen Seleucus Canicus Callinicus ode ne esi ekunya no so na conscience say but she shall be given up. You say, no, about Berenice, and say, fancy Berenice, no, Yebekuno. Laudis, not content with poisoning her husband Antiochus, caused Berenice to be murdered. Oma, a Nukra Antiochus nidie, or poison, na Nukra Berenice nidie, or plotu ye me yekukum no. And they that brought her, omo anom ka ase ema omo serve Berenice na at that time no omo ko merida Berenice no ye wipe omo nyina out and come she ka capture omo nyina so I say and they that brought her and he that begat her. Sa and he that begat her no in Chiremunu ne say a translation and a bit of now the almost what I read in the can say what the correct translation say nema ono no wo no and yes say the ono wo Berenice no but Berenice ne man and he that strengthened her in these times omo not fence omo support ni nyina no fence Laudis Nekura oba no make sure say obe wipe omu na na fe de ode ne babe ma Seleucus Callinicus ababesi ekunya no so ye be wrap up because details na edoso na me mpese me overwhelm people with too much information at one time. Daniel chapter 11 verse 7 say, but out of a branch of her roots shall one stand up in his estate. We shall come with an army and shall enter into the fortress of the king of the north. King of the north no. Ono ne yekunu no ono na ne yere ekunu Antiochus. Ne yere Laudis poison and ekunu. Ntino no offense yekunu no ena Laudis de ne ba bema penyi abesi so Seleucus Callinicus inti wenin koma ohene a wababesi so that time no na inchemuni say this branch out of the same root with Berenice was her brother Ptolemy Euergetes Berenice no oyo ohene fencing Nekura kunu oyo ohene baba oye the king of Egypt, the king of the south baba ena yekunu na ninua bema papa no uti kunya no so eventually wuye ninua bema ebedi ekunya ewo Egypt no king of the south no ena o se me revenge minua ba yekunu no the king of the north osisu no ne maame eproto ye me be kunu me revenge no da me sa ugbowe empa ho enti no and conscience say but out of a branch of her root her no ne Berenice Egyptian king no ne baba na yekunu no shall one stand up a ninua bema in his estate. We shall come with an army and shall enter into the fortress of the king of the north, Syria, and as Antiochus. But at that time, you know, Seleucus Callinicus, and shall deal against them and shall prevail. Obeko ako revenge ni bawu. Na only the king of the north Seleucus Callinicus. Beko edukwa na obedi nisu inkunim. Now is that what happened now? In concept na ekasao. There a historical account and say Berenice near my friend Ptolemy Euergetes obesi papa name. He had no sooner succeeded his father Ptolemy Philadelphus in the kingdom of Egypt than burning desire to avenge the death of his sister Berenice. And raising up a big army, an immense army, invading the territory of the king of the north, that is Seleucus Callinicus, who with his mother Laudis reigned in Syria. And he prevailed against them until conquering Syria, any including Cilicia, upper parts beyond the Euphrates, and almost all Asia. Now, and comes a kind of verse or say, and shall also carry captives into Egypt their gods, with their princes and with their precious vessels of silver and of gold, and he shall continue more years than the king of the north. Natama Ohene Ptolemy Eugates or avenging Niniaba a defeatee Syria, king of the north, Seleucus Callinicus, o defeatee or mono. And Chebia no who say Kofobi no one territory Egypt one mono. Kofobi etu etia sedition because Kofobi e protuso mbituno. And you say, but hearing that the sedition was raised in Egypt, requiring his return home, wako plunder a fencing king of the north in the territory, Nasasi, Syria ho. Who said, one map back to on one home base, ye between the frequenyan, so because sedition be because Ena or hurry up, plunder a fencing a king, fencing kingdom of the north, king of the north in territory, or plunder more for Munema Bebre, and conscience say, or foul even Cromo bosom with their princes. Now, that's exactly what happened because all Konono of our Omo Abosuma history cast about 2,500 images of Omabosum. Omo Ohuni base 2,500. Or the signing of Fomu first precious silver and vessels or plunder ho. Now among these were the images of Cambyses. Among these were the images which Cambyses had formerly taken from Egypt and carried into Persia. And in the images of an maybe one ma utresi and Egypt for Nakasa Bosom. And now Omono Omulusu ye, and after ono a fencing Ptolemy Eugates, what me Akochi etadi upper back to Egypt. Because in say Egypt there historically the Egyptians, being wholly given to idolatry, bestowed upon Ptolemy the title of Eugates or the benefactor. And you know, only by no man's title, a part of Nidin say Ptolemy Eugates. No, now, or say, Sanka, and yes, sir. Tiantia eba on one kasani fee Egypt na man to kwa no okono no wa konko mu ba na on two mu nyina ase sankanye sana ko tu a history chesen ko betu mu nyina ase ko be take over the king of the north no see the king of the south thus came into the dominion of the king of the north and returned to his own land as the prophet had foretold, and he continued more years than the king of the north. Because Seleucus Callinicus died in exile of a fall from his horse, and Ptolemy Eugates survived him for 4 or 5 years. And comes and is so detailed and is so accurate. A man who drew cry because Yamekanina or say, and he shall carry captives into Egypt their gods, or better someone who need a history so far basically 2,500. Some of them no original name come Egypt for Nankasa dia with their princes and with their precious vessels of silver and of gold of Awena Ulutu Omo, and he shall continue more years than the king of the north with defeated Seleucus Callinicus were two nefrekunyaso ama Seleucus Callinicus were called into into exile. Ena a fencing owuye Seleucus Callinicus no wuye until we verse now says, so the king of the south no Ptolemy Eugates no shall come into his kingdom whereby on one can say nifi Egypt and shall return into his own land. And he shall continue more years than the king of the north. Egyptian king no a friend no Ptolemy Eugates no hundreds of years before Sebe no Yakupon can say that particular king no or betna si ache asin the king of the north Seleucus Cananicus, and that's exactly what happened. Because Seleucus Cananicus, you two nifre kunyan so or exam or tinepon koso, or free pon so a ball form, no woo ye, no. Nasela na Ptolemy Euergetes, the king of the south, no, that's what he has no, or survive on for 4 or 5 years, and sana on wankasa. Me share time na 8 abo. And no, Enedian, where you be kakra because it's so detailed. There's no way I between the one setting. I go through BBR. Into Enedian, no, you be see verse 9 Now next time near take it off from verse 10. You be kakra na you chapter 11 and 12 nedia a very short into sana ene yebe no say see akwa na seem to say yes starting and say my mami ha mo mpai we refi mo fanche me ya me so fanche me the message say in see chance ne mo mpai ade nyina so tumfo na nyame aye yie ni asede ni kabia nche odi nkron ni nyam eda wase o many ye ne okesiye Ubro ya dwene enti ase so de se wo hu ye mobo na ye ntotofwe wa ti se ye no wa ma ya kwenya se ye nsusu ye be ye homa eda wase se wonye an aloof god nyame oti baabi na onwene ye hu na ye trinwi kran wa number na dear koso we are brabo nyina no we are particular about ye da wase so we sa nyame ye nim se so long as e betena unyina ase no wadomara kwa ohumo brontine no upi oni omnyamu a ye nya yiraba nti ye da wase wo sa kwenye ye da wase wadisua ade amaye ede di pefe se Bibia ni honma wo nyame it happened without your foreknowledge. Wonim de da dance na de na happen. Ye da wase so yes anyame. Wo hye ye den. To ye gidie mu as adisua no ya ode ama ye nse bibi ibetime nya bibi wo mu a wo se to ye gidie mu wo mu se wonim ade nyina na ba me na wie ye so long as we stay under your banner etna wunyina ase edawase ede uma wo wiase afana nyina hye unsa de ye kondo de ehwehwe pa ne se upi oni omnyamu a ye mu bia anya yiraba enye ya ye wola isunko a ye ne uma wa ya dofo no mu uma wo wiase afana nyina emre nso a eni so be geda ye nyina be fire edi akodida ensenda ti eda wase se wetie pai ebisa we wajikopa Yesu Kristo di muti amen yo nuanu ne adofo no mpacho
Amen.
aha ena de yedi besi na yebebie kwan ama questions say na midi kan the only way I bet me I go through Daniel chapter 11 say this say kan say ya intine original na me fee say bet me ewie nintentem na nka by the end of this year no na ki wie the book of Daniel no minim say be possible but the ebe bia no ye beba nyame leadi yen but ye pese ye nyamu ntiase na ye say ya rush it through just for the sake of say ya say ye wie the book of Daniel Yamin and Kayan, no me adjumina, on ye kakai for bringing everything to understand it. But your question, an answer contribution time they drew, so be war, we be a quiet or sir. Patro, yemu bi mami mbisa this question say obi read Daniel chapter say minim say yenya time read ya Was it very clear to us and say who read and now unya clarity?
Don't think so. Chapter 11, Daniel chapter 11. Also, I don't know what can say. It's very one of the chapters in the Bible, and as a prophecies one, and very difficult.
Yeah.
Even within the AZM, and I think Pastor Kobadonko sometimes ago, 2019 to 2020, I think before 2020, before the COVID, no, Oba Yasor Befichi, and I think that he was making a reference to the almost a Asopho, a Bible research by a Andrews. They were dealing with, I think, Daniel chapter 11 and some Bible verses be some about some animals like lions and those kind of mammal animals. You know, either say whether they were there before and answer after Boniba no so Daniel chapter 11 or can answer. So I don't think even like you said the other day, I don't think even among the NG for Kwanon you know, easy like that. But I believe we have some I've been for almost Omuguswa Echechrimu. Anyway, now I think wabon money pa better yamiaso from where you stand. And I work on to me, I like the way you take your time to go through it detail by detail
Yeah.
because information you want I think the Bible and to say the history behind all this in your mind anyway, one case so you will feel somehow good to say you are able to join to learn all these things. Anyway, maybe, maybe actually, you see, Yamani better than I said, one may acquaint this time around. There, yes, so Yamon modern yin, na do muniensi in the movie as you Daniel, the book of Daniel, especially chapter 11 today. And I think that the series now are for the year because you didn't know me one day. I don't think that shall see the other. And see, bit by bit, and I believe that by the time I be in, as any now, yes, you go over it every now and then. Now, the being moon shall say,
Amen.
you better in answer, and the baby I'll be busy.
Amen. Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Ebenezer Yamishra that's a power also contribution. Patrona so be kasa
Yeah. Me pacho me so me kakra.
you ma
De beka nyina ne sɛ nyame nhyira o. Nyame nhyira yɛ mpanimfo a modi yɛn anim. First no, mete saa yɛka sɛ woka sɛ yɛ nkɔnkɔ kan. Wohwɛ mu a na w'ani koraa ha. But nyame ɛma mo mu nimdie sei na sɛ mo mu di anim a ɛma adesua no yɛ dɛ ɛma ɛtwe w'adwene nso so esi nneɛma bebree so. Unsa first koraa meka biribi sɛ kronkron mu kronkron bi adesua yi a yɛde hyɛ aseɛ bɛyi a de yɛde abɛduru sɛ yi. First no na mekɔ asɔre na sɛ yɛsua a m'adwene no ɛwɔ hɔ deɛ but na ɛsɛ wote na akyirikyirikyiri bi na ɛsɛ ɛdɛ deɛ wɔwo hwanhwan ne deɛ ɔyɛ hwanhwan deɛ ɛyɛ so koraa ɛfa yɛ ho bɛyi ɛnso sɛ na ne nyinaa no especially sɛ woyɛ akwanhwɛni a saa nneɛma no ɛwɔ nkwagyeɛ ho adesua kɛseɛ paa nti mesrɛ Awurade sɛ ɔmfa mo mpanimfo so na daa ne daa nyinaa mo a ɔsoso mo adaeɛ na mo so nyɛ bi na mo so mo ntimi mɛkyerɛkyerɛ wɔn ma mo mu ntease a emu dɔ na mo so mo ntimi mɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu ɛsiane sɛ Nyankopɔn mmerɛ a yɛaduro no nneɛma nyinaa ɛɛpɛ ntɛm ba biribiara nso so ni hɔ a wɔbɛyɛ dɛn wɔde bɛhinta wɔnam ne dɔm so ɛbɛda n'adi afa yɛn mpanimfo ɛbɛkɔ akoma pa mu ɛne adwene a yɛbɔ dɔ mu adwuma atu anammɔ kɔsi sɛ Kristo bɛpie n'anim onyam mu wɔba a yɛn nyinaa yɛanyɛ yeraba nti Nyame nhyira mo paa ɛwɔ Yesu din mu amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Now, Miss Medeka crack Pacho, Miss Medeka crack on Yakaya Ethiopia ni prince no. Ya oko Jerusalem and no best na ko Ethiopia no. Ofa trustem no kan is it Elijah? No, no kind they can say Elijah book no. And no all kind. No kind one on Tiasie. And one say all kind in home far Philip so on calling chain. No Busano said the all kind or Tiasie and was made a Matiasie until say we made then betch remove. And a Philip for fro nation no na ja ko chichi mu ko chichi mu sa obusa se ken kan na ti se all kind dia literally no so akan yo egu on wunya any other explanation bia be se nyankopon adom nti no se ofa nyankopon bie wadwene mu na se obie nipa bi adwene mu ma nchechire mu no ba na se anye bia kan ye de na ken kan ya anti ase no ho independent ye da wase pi enye twosem no bibia na kan ya unkwa beti ase enti na communal service ehun hia no fellowship enti na ehun hia no o beti A no ya to B no ya to C ni akeka bom na fenti ase na ye adwuma independent da se pi ni abotra onya ya o da chechiri mo amaye na ni titru anase ni wie nyina akrampo ni se onyankopon na dwene enti se ya dwene onyankopon nim bibia fifiti ase kusi awieye unse wo kan nyina no se on bobo nipa ni dini wo hono de ba history no so ehye mu kna me hu se de twosem no kan nyina no ba pepepepepepepe we nyankopon a wo to so a wo do ho to so a ebe ye fi se onim fiti ase kusi awieye momme amfi adwene ne honam ne bibia bia to nyankopon so fi so ne ehwam da asem a waka bia no ebem pepepe me da so pen
Elder Nyame shra dance or sa nkranche sema odiamai ya me kran ma men kan say sa Daniel chapter 11 me reading the pen. I think the first time I read it kran na me akola Ghana ke say senia ye kan sa be manti ase na adusua ye we na ase me study no a bit deeper every the other sources. Eti other preachers no nti ye nyina no we enye se meti ase if I say na meti ase like I say by default and I say the nti addition na ye nyina yesu nti se na elder kind no I like pointed elder kind say eno nti na communal studying in a buano because assembly one man be na ubuntiansi. It may not be Daniel chapter 11. Even another verse will be baby. Na unu abitiasi. And until we should not isolate ourselves. Say be utina ufi kra sun yamia ye. Nyankopon encourage sa communal worship na that's a study but your sister Ruth that's a meeting on coming say ona pe wo bibi kana say
oh Pacho Debbie Elder Poku Diana no na me can amen afane so
okay until Pacho o foforo bi so wo a question and a contribution yeah and you say bibia ni o sade ene de ye nche the addition be see han mo na mestre say Sister Ruth we share an addition so me encourage you and say nyame ya doma Wednesday ye prayer and fasting and a very very nice pa ya your line so you know ye momodi and say be participate be join ye from the same time to say we in 7 p.m. New York time 6 p.m. Chicago time ye for about an hour the whole day no your bonfire throughout the whole day yeah come true be 7 p.m. na fidi na ya bonfire nice worship. It drew Thursday so you bet so from Daniel chapter 10 but Friday so no prayers and you go into Christ object lessons, parables, the book you go through parables, and so you're very, very nice. So now your mom say a bit me participate. If you ask any we and send any see worship nyame before no, send any secret soon SCTA before no. A year na very stronger, so the any very stronger, cause my even any stronger. Yeah, na ye die week no so no nyame na so enkan ho na enye stronger because we are saying we everything should say and last sa nyame kan ho pa cho sister root obet me abo a closing prayer na
Ejiri from Pachami Mopaye. Nyankopɔn ne ban kɛseɛ da wase ɛne nwummerɛ ɛwɔ nsɛm a wode atom yɛn. Yɛsrɛ sɛ wobɛkɔ so a na wama yɛ w'asɛm mu nteaseɛ. Wobɛboa yɛn na wo nsɛm a wode ama yɛn yi ɛbɛtumi atena yɛn mu na yɛde bɛbɔ bra a ɛbɛsɔ w'ani. Yɛfiri line yi so akɔ yi so, yɛkɔ so agya yɛ kra ne yɛ nipadua hyɛ wo nsa. Yɛsrɛ sɛ wobɛhu yɛn mmɔbɔ na wobɛbɔ yɛn ho ban, bɛyi yɛn afiri bɔne mu so ne ɛsan biara mu. Kɔsoa ne hyira yɛn ɛne ne daa nyinaa wɔ dɔba Christ din mu nti. Amen.
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 Lady Seni and Debbie da yechiano no yebema ye nyina ye ho mespa.
Say
Yɛdi
you
nkomo a yɛwɔ hɔ ahwɛ me so.
one seven one seven.
Amen.
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 Yo, adolfo nyame nhyira ne ma o.
Amen.
Elder Radin
Amen.
Shapa, so akusua
Amen.
beche so amen.
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 Amen. Amen. Amen.